Welcome back to Nerdscape Odyssey. I'm Tyler, the gaming dad, and today I'm joined by my co-host and wife, Ashley, the nerd mom. Let's just get it out of the way. According to the internet, the Halo TV show is by far a massive disappointment, a betrayal of everything that we hold dear, and an absolute train wreck. And the biggest complaint of all, that by daring to change the story, the showrunners have fundamentally misunderstood the Master Chief. But what if the biggest complaint, the one that spawned 1,000 angry forum posts, is actually the show's greatest strength? We're here to argue why the controversial Silver Timeline was the only way to deliver a truly compelling story and a Master Chief with the kind of emotional depth that fans never even knew that they needed.
Before we can even begin to defend the show, we have to talk about the one creative choice that started all of the drama, the Silver Timeline. The moment this was announced, it became ground zero for the fan-based civil war. The showrunners, along with 343 Industries, made it clear. The series exists in its own separate universe, running parallel to the games, but not bound by them. Their goal, they said, was to protect the game's sacred canon while giving the show the creative freedom it needed to actually work as a TV show, which I've never actually played the Halo games. I've only seen the show. So from what I've heard with the games, I'm actually kind of glad they changed it up with the show. We'll get into that though.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And this wasn't an insult. It was a practical, necessary choice. I mean, think about it. The way a story connects with its audience is totally different in a video game versus a television show. In the games, you are the Master Chief. He's an avatar, a stoic symbol of power, intentionally left vague so that millions of players can see themselves inside the genre armor. As actor Pablo Schreiber, the man under the helmet, pointed out, Chief doesn't have a ton of deep character moments in the games by design. The players are supposed to fill in those gaps.
But TV just doesn't work that way. You can't project yourself onto a character on screen. You have to watch them, understand them, and connect with them. You simply can't build a multi-season character-driven drama around a silent, faceless hero. I can tell you one thing. I connect through story. I don't connect to somebody who doesn't have any type of backstory whatsoever.
Exactly.
So, a direct one-for-one adaptation of Halo Combat Evolved would feel hollow and narratively empty on TV. To tell a story about Master Chief, you have to get inside his head. And to do that, you have to be willing to bend the rules. The Silver Timeline isn't an excuse to ignore the lore. It's the key that unlocks a deeper, more human story, something that I would like to watch.
Exactly. You need to connect with more than just the gamers. You have to connect with potential sci-fi fans that aren't gamers. And that brings us to the moment that broke the internet. The cardinal sin, the unspeakable act. Master Chief takes his helmet off, and he does it in the very first episode. And for many, this was an absolute sacrilege, the ultimate betrayal of the character's mystique. Critics screamed that the reveal was unearned, that it shattered the icon, and that it was a moment that should have been saved for a massive tear-jerking climax seasons down the road.
But that criticism completely misses the point of what the show was doing. The conversation
Definitely
isn't about, if he should take off the helmet, but why he does it. For one, how do you have a character in a TV show without seeing his face? For one, I don't.
Yeah, to connect with the human, you have to see the human.
Exactly. In that first episode, it's not some cheap dramatic stunt. It's a tactical choice. He's faced with Quan Ha, the lone traumatized survivor of a Covenant massacre, who sees him as just another UNSC monster in green armor. He needs to de-escalate the situation. So how do you do that? Well, he removes his helmet to prove that underneath all of that metal, there's actually a man inside there. It's his first fumbling attempt at empathy.
To tell a story about a soldier rediscovering his humanity, you have to, see the human, just like I mentioned before. Pablo Schreiber's incredible performance is built on the subtle conflict that plays out on his face, the confusion, the flicker of a lost memory, the quiet horror. Those helmet off moments aren't just about destroying an icon that everybody's built up in their head. They're about building a character. They are the window into John 117's internal struggle, letting the show explore the psychological nightmare of the Spartan program in a way the games can only hint at. Without his face, John is a symbol, but by showing it, the series lets us get to know the actual person.
So this brings us to the next big complaint. The show turns Master Chief into an emotional, disobedient soldier who is nothing like the unwavering hero from the games. And to that we say, yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why it's so brilliant.
Exactly.
The entire engine of the Silver Timeline story is John's suppressed humanity finally breaking free. After touching a Forerunner artifact that triggers flashes of his forgotten childhood, John makes a critical decision. He removes the emotional suppressant pellet from his spine, which kind of gave me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, to be quite honest. It's a little bit. But this one act changes everything, and for the first time since he was a boy, John 117 starts to actually feel.
And this is where the show actually really hits its stride. We get to see a chief who doesn't just blindly follow orders, but actually starts to question them.
Yes.
He's no longer just a weapon. He's a man realizing his entire life was built on the lies of Dr. Halsey and the UNSC. His disobedience isn't a betrayal at all of his character. It's the birth of his character. He starts to process horrific truths that he and the other Spartans were kidnapped as children, stripped of their families, and brutally forged into living weapons.
And it might be unpopular opinion, but Halsey, I cannot stand her. I don't like her.
But I think you're supposed to not like her.
This journey from a stoic super soldier to a man grappling with a stolen past is infinitely more interesting for television. In the games, Chief's motivation is simple. Complete the objective, save humanity. In the show, his motivations get wonderfully messy, which I love. I love messy. He still has to save humanity, but now he's also fighting an internal war against his own programming and the very people who made him, well, him. The internal conflict gives him a depth and relatability that a silent protagonist can never have. His loyalty is no longer blind. It has to be earned, and he has to figure out for himself what's truly worth fighting for. That's a far more complex and engaging hero. I love drama. We need to keep the drama.
Well, that's kind of why a lot of people love Captain America as well. He doesn't just blindly follow orders. They have to be morally correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's be real here. The show isn't perfect by any means, and we're not saying it is. Not by a long shot. And we need to talk about the Quan Ha-sized elephant in the room. Even the show's biggest fans will admit that her subplot is a major weak point.
Another character I really don't like.
Oh, they made her. I'm not sure if it's that the actress herself is a bad actress or if the character was horribly written. But the character, the decisions that she makes her seem like an incredible idiot. And after being set up as the Catalyst Chief Rebellion, her story veers completely into a disconnected side quest on the planet Madrigal that just feels way random. It grinds the main story to a halt and squanders the potential for a meaningful connection between her and the Chief.
And let's be honest, where's the connection between her and the Chief? I'm pretty sure since after the first few episodes...
Oh, it's veered way off course.
They don't even see each other.
No.
Like, she's more in with his buddy, I can't remember his name, but, like, it's just...
The buddy that was supposed to defend her and that she tried to escape from.
Yeah, like...
While being hunted down.
You're not a one-woman army. Like, to me, I don't know if it's the actress. I actually think it is the character in the show because... Obviously, there's key points for her to act out and do, and those key points don't make sense.
None at all.
But you have to at least appreciate the intent behind the character. The games usually portray the UNSC as the unquestionable good guys. The show, though, through the characters like Quan, paints the UNSC in a much, I guess, greater light, showing them as a ruthless colonial power.
Exactly.
While Kwan's story is clunky, clearly, its purpose was to add a layer of moral complexity to the universe.
And when the show gets it right, it really gets it right. The action sequences are, for the most part, spectacular. The opening battle on Madrigal is an incredible piece of adaptation, using the first-person shots that mimic the game's HUD to drop you right into the chaos. The big set-piece battles between Spartans and the Covenant are brutal. They're thrilling, and they capture the massive scale of the games perfectly. From the mind-bending shared vision of the Halo ring to the intense showdowns with the Covenant, these are the moments that deliver on the promise of a live-action Halo, blending epic spectacle with genuine character stakes. Now, when it all comes down to it, the great Halo debate really just asks one question. What do you want from an adaptation? Now, if what you want is a perfect beat-for-beat recreation of the games, then yeah, the show is always going to feel like a failure. And why is that? Because it was never trying to be that in the first place.
But if you're open to a new story, one that uses incredible foundation of the Halo universe to actually explore its iconic hero in a new way, then the series is something special. The Silver Timeline wasn't a mistake. It was a bold, necessary choice to transform Master Chief from a player-controlled avatar into a fully formed television protagonist.
Exactly.
It lets us see the man, not just the machine, and honestly, he's actually my favorite character in the entire show.
Oh, he's awesome.
I mean, it works. It gives us a hero defined not by his silence, but by his struggle to finally find his own voice. It may not be the story that you played. It definitely wasn't the one I did, because again, I wasn't playing the games. But it's a story about the man you've always known was in there.